Bet your delivery truck never looked this cool. Here's David Reagan's 2010 UPS Freight Ford Fusion. Howdy folks, it's Diecastbuffet here again, and welcome back to another NASCAR Diecast review. Today's car is going to be a classic diecast review, and if you can notice already, something is kind of unusual about this diecast. So, if you caught my NASCAR Diecast haul a few days ago, I got this car in the mail, and I had a little bit of a backstory to this car. I freaking wanted this thing so much, and I'm so glad to get it, but you can clearly tell this thing has been opened as someone put the car in the wrong way. It's supposed to be switched around. The high side of the car is supposed to be on this back wall, while the low side is supposed to be over here, as this is the front panel. But let's go ahead and get this diecast out of the box. Here she is, folks, brand new out of the package, and this is one beautiful looking diecast. I mean, if you look at the normal 2010 David Reagan paint scheme, you know, it's pretty much just straight up a brown number 6 Ford for, Roush Racing, literally. This one's definitely quite the contrary, silver, UPS, beautiful car. So, as I mentioned, this car was backwards in the box. I can clearly tell it was already been opened because there's a crap load of dust on the spoiler, but I was looking around the car real quick just to make sure that this is not, a roach diecast, but I don't see any significant, scratches or anything like that. So I know my philosophy when I do diecast reviews is to always and only review new products, but this is a really rare diecast, and I'll explain why. Or it's not really a rare, but it's more or less something that's so uncommon that when it's on the market, it's cheap, but it's just hard to find it. I wanted to get this car like 3 or 4 years ago, and I contemplated the idea of getting it. It was like really cheap too. It was like $850 for this car, right, shipped. And they had like 5 or 6 of them for sale. It was a dealer, and I was like, okay, I want this car, but I want these other ones more, and I just kept, procrastinating on it, and I never got this car. And then when it dried up from the market, oh my god, it dried up. I mean, I have maybe seen this car twice in the past 4 years for sale. And as soon as I seen this thing on the market again, I jumped on it. So that's why I'm giving this a slight pass, even though I do know this diecast has been displayed. I'm not going to let that stop me. I feel like the diecast is still in very good condition. We'll just have to be kind of mindful that if there's any defects, that it's probably not Action's fault. But this is a beautiful diecast that I am so glad to have. This is a alternate, folks, UPS paint scheme. That is freaking hard to find. So you can see on the nose, you got the, just beautiful silver paint scheme around this whole thing. I mean, metallic silver, beautiful, man. You got a little bit of a, I don't know, it looks kind of like a crinkled decal over there with where the air vent is right there. It looks like kind of like a crinkled decal where the vent is, but you got, a UPS logo that is clearly off-centered. It's definitely supposed to be over in the middle, so that's unfortunate. Over here on the nose, you could definitely tell something happened there. Oh my god. I think that's probably from manufacturer, just the way it looks, because if that was someone just toying with it, it would have, like, you could see the metal scraped, right? No, you can see the wrap is just peeled off. So that tells me that was damaged before they heat shrunk it to the car. If someone took like a hobby knife and just started scraping the nose of this thing, it would have scratched the paint. Well, you can see the paint is the same texture and same kind of like, shine as up here when it's fine. So that tells me that someone probably at the factory messed that up, and it did not, get applied properly. And you can also see, I think, a little bit of an issue right here as well. Yeah, you can see it here. So I do think that is actually from Action and not the individual who owned this car before. But who knows? Who knows? So you got Fusion here. You got, oh my Jesus, look at those contingencies. Back when Roush could actually win races. What is that? Goodyear, Gatorback, Mail, Moog, Comp, Edelbrock, Rebestos, Sunoco. Beautiful, man. Ford Fusion. Wow. This is a beautiful diecast, man. Holy cow. This is absolutely a diecast I've wanted for years now, and I remember seeing this thing for sale online, and I was like, man, I gotta get this thing, right? I freaking want it. And I didn't get it, and I was so disappointed when it basically disappeared from the face of the earth, and I was able to get it at a super good price, too. David Reagan, that's, got his name on it. It's very small. That needs to be a little bit bigger, in my opinion. Ford, I think it says Drive One, I think. Valvoline, Coca-Cola, UPS Freight. This is a really cool paint scheme, man. This really is. No contingencies or no secondary sponsors down here in the right rear quarter panel, and I love how there's no American ethanol rings, like you see on the Gen 6 cars nowadays. I can't stand those things. You got NASCAR race car, Holly, you got Mechanics Wear, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, Autometer, Jags, DirecTV, 3M, K&N, Goodyear. Goodyear logo. It's got a blue background, but it actually kind of looks good. I like that. Of course, Roush Fenway famous number 6. Over here on the tail end of the car, you got, of course, your COT spoiler. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the back end of this is actually scraped. You see that? How it's kind of looks like it's like jagged, like someone like scraped it against the wall or something. I can touch that up. I can fix that pretty easily. So no harm, no foul there. UPS.com/racing. Shame UPS is no longer in the sport of NASCAR. Roush Fenway on the left tail light, and then on the right one, you got the number 6 again. And then once again, you got 4 down there. Beautiful, kind of like fast, aggressive, tribal paint scheme too. Over here on the right side of the car, just so many contingencies. I do see a scratch right here though. I'll try to zoom in on it. This is probably that was not part of the factory's problem, and probably was the individual who owned this car before. Yeah, you can see a scrape. You can kind of see a scrape there, so I'm not going to give it action on that one. I'm going to say that is the individual who owned it before, and probably that too. I mean, it looks like it was a shelfware die cast that someone took it out of the box, maybe pushed it around a little bit, but it was a paint scheme they never used much, and it just sat on the shelf. That's what it looks like to me. That's because they probably would rather use the primary paint scheme if they were doing like a die cast race or something. And then over here on the roof, you got just, your normal, big 1 number on the roof. You got the number 6. Could be a little bit more centered in the middle. It's kind of low right here. Just love it how there's no sponsors on the roof flaps. Love that. And then you go over here to the deck lid, and it's just one big UPS logo. Freaking love that. And no winglet sponsors. No winglet sponsors. That would be cool to have silver. And to be honest with you, I could do that, but I'm not going to. All in all, this is probably one of the most eye-catching UPS paint schemes I've ever seen. I mean, it's silver. It's got like a tribal kind of tear design across the whole car. Instead of having like white letters or something, you still have the silver. I mean, it's beautiful, man. It's like taking Dale Jarrett's early 2000 paint schemes and pretty much taking the white and making it all silver. I gotta admit, man, it looks freaking amazing. Definitely one of the coolest alternate paint schemes you can get for David Reagan in the COT era. I mean, I think 2 of his 2008 secondaries for AAA, but now to get a 2010 secondary, that is really cool. And I think I have both of the 2010 David Reagans ever released. His primary UPS and his alternate. I have never seen another one, so maybe there's one buried out there, maybe a prototype or something, but as far as I know, I have all the 2010 David Reagans now. And without further ado, that is going to be it for this video. Let me know what y'all think about this diecast in the comment section below. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss any of my new content. That could be diecast races, gameplay videos, more diecast reviews, all kinds of cool stuff. And go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want to see a behind-the-scenes look at everything I do, including custom NASCAR diecasts, my latest hauls, all kinds of cool stuff. Check me out on Instagram at Diecastbuffet. And with all that being said, hope you're having a great one. And Diecast Buffet, signing off.